Sam?
Hello, Arne. It was a great game to watch. Are you disappointed to have lost, to just drawn, or are you pleased with the point?
Yeah, I said many times already to the other media that there were moments in the game where you thought, oh, if we can come away here with a draw, that would be a good result. But those moments were mainly in the first half, and in the second half I thought we were, especially after we scored the 1-1, yeah, we were really impressive. Created so many opportunities, good chances, and then in the end, being 1 minute before the end, being 3-2 up, it feels as a disappointment, of course, to drop 2 points.
The substitutions worked well. Trent had a massive effect on the game.
Yeah, I think Mo had a massive impact on the game as well. Dom came in really well, Lucio also, but I think in general the second half we played much better than the first half, where in the first half we had a lot of problems with their intensity, with their aggressive playing style, without the ball, aggressive in a good way, where we tried to cope with it, but every time we touched them we got a yellow, so that doesn't really help for us to be intense then as well. But to give credits to them, they were more intense than us. They forced us to too many mistakes. So it wasn't that difficult for us to be better in the second half with the ball, and that's what we were. And yeah, maybe it was difficult for them to keep that intensity of the first 45 minutes going. And as a result of that, or all these things, we dominated the second half.
Tony?
Yeah, I mentioned Mo there, and to the other media, you said you're hoping and expecting him to continue doing this for a long time. Is there any update on that? And could you just talk about that second half performance from him individually? I mean, that must have been as good a one half performance from an individual as we've seen for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, he could have scored other goals.
Yeah, it's difficult for me to predict the future, but the long-term future, the only thing I can expect or predict is that he's in a very good place at the moment. He plays in a very good team that provides him with good opportunities, and then he's able to do special things. And what makes him, for me, even more special is that in the first hour you thought like, oh, now before we scored the 1-1, you thought like, he's not playing his best game today. And then come up with a half hour or 35 minutes, I don't know how long it was afterwards, with assists, 2 goals, having a shot on the bar, being a constant threat. That is something not many players can do if they've played the first hour like he did. So that is also what makes him special, apart from, yeah, if you just look at the goals, his finish is so clinical. It's yeah, special player, but that's what we all know.
Richard?
Yeah, more generally on Mo. I mean, at the end of last season, he had an injury, he had a spell where he wasn't scoring as many goals as usual. And when you came in, were you maybe slightly worried that he was perhaps going over the hill, or have you been surprised by how much he's got back to his best this year?
I've seen many games of last season, but it's always difficult to judge a player if you're not there. You just, what I did most was just seeing style of play and team performance, and not that much the individual performance. And what I noticed from the start when he came in, how fit he was, how ready he was to make it a very good season for him, that he led by example from the first day onwards. In pre-season, where so many of his teammates where he usually plays with, so the international players weren't there, and then still be able to work that hard he did and train so hard. Yeah, then and we all saw the quality from in the training session. So it's not a surprising thing for me that he does so well till now.
And there looked to be some frustration from yourself and your coaching staff directed at the officials this evening at times during the game. Was it one incident specifically, or?
No, I'm not sure. I think it was an intense game, and all the decisions are made by the players, by me, by the other coaching staff, and by the referee. They can have a big impact. So all these small details can have a big impact, so you always try to influence where you can, or sometimes that you have a bit of frustration. But in general, I didn't feel we overcrossed the line. It's there were moments in the game where we felt we could have got a free kick. There were moments in the game where the Newcastle bench thought they could have had a free kick. Yeah, I think it's always like this, and it happens mostly in an intense game where there are so many turnarounds that emotions get not only with the fans but sometimes with us as well. Yeah, I don't think the referee had any influence on the result tonight.
Last one, Hamza.
Arne, the back line's a bit depleted at the moment. Do you expect to just have slightly more open matches now because Ibrahim Konate's out, Bradley's out, Tsimikas is out? Is this a bit more natural to have a bit more end-to-end?
Tsimikas was already out before we played Madrid and City. Connor was out before we played City, and Ibu didn't play City as well, and we kept a clean sheet 2 times against the best teams that have dominated Europe for so long. To go away to Newcastle, it's such a difficult game to play, and they have so much quality throughout the whole squad, but especially up front as well. So that they are able to score a goal, that's not a surprise for me. And yeah, especially the first one. Oh, what a finish that was from them. I mean, ours was a great finish as well, but that shot from Isak, I don't even know if Queef saw that ball. As hard as it was.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.